vinyl here is called Golden Toned Woven Texture Vinyl. Now, I'm always on the lookout for a good gold, interesting type of vinyl, and this vinyl is just that. You do get gold to it without it being overwhelmingly gold. It's just a hint. So if you look at this surface, this sort of reminds me of the wallpaper that you would call, I think it's called seagrass or something. It's actually a textured, it actually has grass in it, some kind of seagrass in it, and textured. This reminds me of it because it's not an even looking woven surface. So it has a woven embossing on there, but it's not, exactly grid-like. So that adds a really nice organic feel to this embossing on the surface. So there is, there's surface texture. It's a matte finish, and it's got two or three different colors. So really interesting surface color that's going to change the color as the item moves. This is backed by this woven knit kind of fabric in white. This is a dense vinyl, very dense. And also I'm going to scrape it with my thumb. I don't feel any catching or resistance. So I think this is going to be a really, what I would consider tough vinyl. So the surface of it is really tough. It's also going to mean that you're going to need some power in your machine to pierce this with the needle. This, in certain lights, almost reads white until it moves. So I'm going to save this for some spring items. And I think it'll look nice and fresh for spring to bring some gold, but not as bold gold as I would use in the fall. So if I put it together, really, it's really slippery, really slippery. So if you're going to put right sides together on this, you're going to need to, I would suggest something sticky, either a double-sided tape or actually do staples and stitch on the inside of the staple, because this is really slick against each other. And it's going to be very difficult to keep the edges together. All right, so on the short edge here, I'm going to try to pull no stretch whatsoever. Along the long edge, there's a stretch. I can feel a fair bit of stretch. So keep that in mind on this. And that is on, the stretch is on the long. So because of the way that these come, if there's that much stretch along, then I wouldn't use this for a strap. Unless you can do a strap that's 18 inches or less. What else? Okay, so let's fold it. So if I fold them, the first fold, it does make a pretty good crease. There's not too much resistance there, but you can see that it really easily, see, even if I hold it here, it's still rounded and popping. So that's one fold. And then, oh my goodness, no, that is thick. That's really thick. So even if your machine could handle it, that's really thick and dense. And if you made that on a strap, just be warned, it's going to be really, that's going to be a solid, thick strap. So folds over the first time easy. Again, I would put, this is going to require either staples or double-sided tape or glue to really hold this in place because it's resisting wanting to sew together. But it is, the surface texture on this, really interesting, really nice. It would really complement florals in a lot of different colors, because this gold, I would have to say it's a gold with a white undertone. So it's, although it's gold, it's not yellowy, it's more on the whitish side.